Hey everybody, welcome back. This is the Nanoqguides Services and Survival Training, home of the Durago Rangers, the nonprofit located in Dover Foxcroft, Maine, central Maine. And I'm Joel, the cameraman today, and this is Devin. And we are also the hosts of the Hungry Prepper upcoming video series and podcast, taking you out to show you how anybody from any background, no matter how many jobs you work and where you're from, can be comfortable in the outdoors. One thing that we are known for in our classes is we try to teach people about something called Flint Knapping. And Devin is our lead instructor, so I'm going to let him go through kind of what it is in the history, why people enjoy it, and what you could do with it.
All right, so thank you for joining us today. Yes, we're going to talk about Flint Knapping. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I could go on and on and on. So I'm just going to give you a quick history of what is the difference in tradition. When you hear the word tradition, or traditional flint knapping, what that really means. The art of flint knapping is making stone or obsidian glass into a useful object, whether it's an arrowhead or a knife blade. This came from this shard here, and I'll be working this shard down some more. What we're going to try to do is remove material down and make it into small pieces to a biface. To go back to what I was telling you about traditional, we have two sets of tools. We have antler and tine. We have a hammerstone and an abrader. Those are traditional to one period of time. Throughout history, as we progressed from stone to copper, copper is now part of a tradition. They did use copper very widely. So to say that one is not traditional, that would be incorrect. They are both traditional, just depending on what time of era. That's as far as I really want to go into it, because if I go any further, this is going to be a very long video. Protection is very important. I'm not going to wear my safety glasses today. I feel confident. You should always wear safety glasses. I shouldn't tell you that I'm going to do it without wearing safety glasses, but that's how it's going to be today. So what I'm going to look for is I'm going to look for these points, okay? And I want to get some of these points to make these shards come this way. You can kind of see here that there was one that went up this way at one point. So I'm going to use my abrader stone, and what this does is this makes a very nice smooth edge, very dusty and coarse, something that I can grip my billet with. If I tried to strike this as smooth, it's just going to flake right off. It's going to slide right off and make a horrible piece come off. You may not like the sound, and hopefully you can't really hear it all that much, but other pieces you can hear it pretty well, and it sounds like nails on a chalkboard. So I'm going to leave all that dust on there just to make sure I got some good traction. So when I strike it, I don't slide anywhere. So now I got that edge. Apparently I lost my, oh, there it is. I'm going to try to take a piece off right around here and drive it down to make this flat and get rid of this piece here. That's what we're going to try for. I'll try to get it in frame for you. Sorry if I can't get it in frame for you. I'm thinking my hammerstone would probably work better than this antler, so if you give me 1 second, I'm going to grab a bopper.
And during this brief interlude, you all can see one of our work areas, our garage, which is under construction, and we have quite a lot of work going on. So I apologize for the boxes and things in the background, but always a work in progress here.
Okay, so we finally got it. And I'm sorry it took a couple extra strikes, but I didn't make it all the way across. However, I did shoot it down a little too much. So I did shoot it down to take off that piece. However, if you see here, there's a nice smooth edge. There is a pocket of some sort right there. And right there where I struck, it wasn't a very good strike on my behalf. There's two pockets right there, you can see. They're kind of off colored. Moving into pressure flaking, which is the fine detail work from when you get it down to something like this, is you want it as thin as possible. And we're going to go thinner than that. In order to do so, you can kind of see a zigzag pattern that's forming. That goes a little too much. So I did shoot it down to take off that piece. However, if you see here, there's a nice smooth edge. There is a pocket of some sort right there. And right there where I struck, it wasn't a very good strike on my behalf. There's two pockets right there, you can see. They're kind of off colored. Moving into pressure flaking, which is the fine detail work from when you get it down to something like this, is you want it as thin as possible. And we're going to go thinner than that. In order to do so, you can kind of see a zigzag pattern that's forming. That goes peak and valley, zigzag, back and forth, so that I can remove all the peaks on each side and not the valleys. And it's very easy just to remove small pieces, as you can hear. So I'm driving these flakes from here up to here. I don't want to go all the way over, so I'm not using full force to drive it through. I can also accidentally break it as well. So I'm not trying to add too much force. So here, as you can see, I started to take some of my zigzags away. You can see my zigzags on the other side. Here's a peak here facing that direction. So if I was to flip it around, I'd want to take those peaks off. So that we have another set of zigzags to work with. And the more zigzags that you keep, this makes your center line all the way down from the tip, from the base to the tip even. This is how you make sure that it's flat on both sides, so that you're not making something that's going to tilt that way instead of being true. This does not come easy, and if it does, more power to you. And someday you can take down your own deer